Quilty is brought to you by
Baby Lock. Baby Lock sewing and long arm machines. From piecing to long arming for the love of sewing. Aurifil. Aurifil Italian thread. Perfectly suited for all your quilting projects. Dear Stella. A unique fabric brand with modern style. Fairfield. Together, we can make beautiful things. Hovels Sewing. Cut to the point with Hovels Sewing. Moda. Make something quilty with Moda fabrics. Northcott. Cottons that feel like silk. Omnigrid. Providing quilters with specialty rulers and accessories for over 30 years. Hi out there. It's time for Quilty. Great to see you this week. I'm Mary Fons, and on this episode, we're going to do a little log cabin business from a pattern that was found in Modern Patchwork magazine. You can go and find this pattern if you visit Modern Patchwork. You can also go to fonsandporter.com. Lots of places for you to find this goodiness, and it's it's called Modern Wave quilt, which is really a log cabin. And the first thing I want to show you today is I printed off the pattern. The PDF here, and it's got your cutting chart. And what I want you to notice is that I highlighted with a orange highlighter my light fabrics, and I highlighted with a blue marker my darker fabrics, because as I look at this, it's just helpful to glance at that and know, oh, these are my light ones and these are my darks, because in a log cabin you have to have lights and darks or it doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. It's all about contrast with a log cabin. And then I circled my white and just left it white. It's because we need, as you can see here, we need some pink, we need some blue, and we need some orange, and we have white separating them in the middle. I have some pink-ish, some yellow, and some blue. So I've got some darker stuff too. Okay, so let me show you about that fabric. That's what the next thing is here. These are the fabrics I've chosen for my Modern Wave quilt. I have a few things. Here's my white, okay, you need that. I chose a few, then I've got my pink, okay, then I've got my yellow, which is sort of acting as my orange, and then I picked a few different blues, and I ended up going with a dark turquoise, which you'll see, or a dark blue, which you'll see in just a second. These would work as well, any of these, and that's a really cute color scheme, and I like it. But in terms of picking fabric, why would that one not be very good? If I could see your hands being raised, I would call on one of you. But the problem with this fabric, even though it has blue in it, it's too close to this. You would be sad if you had this next to this in your Modern Wave quilt. It wouldn't work. Up close, you could see the different fabrics. But from far away, it's going to read white. That's what we say. If you look it up on your design wall and you step back about 6 feet, you can tell that it's going to blend together, okay? So when you're picking fabrics, this is contrast. This is what we mean when we talk about contrast. This is high contrast. Oh boy, this is high contrast. These are high contrast. This is low contrast. Wow, look at these threads. Oh boy. Okay, so what I eventually did is I picked out this really dark blue. And that is super high contrast, okay? So now what I want to do is show you how this log cabin is pieced together. I didn't even make a whole block because this is what I want to show you today. So you get your pattern out, and it tells you which log to sew to which. Look how cool this is when it gets finished. Isn't that neat, the way it's set? I've got down here what to teach you. Anyway, so here we go. So I'm going to put this down, and I have to do it facing me because it's too hard to do it upside down. But you're going to sew this log to this. And as I lay this out for you, I'm actually going to do something that I'll do with a log cabin, because if you lay out a log cabin just, without overlapping them, you'll see what I mean in just a second. It gets really confusing because your pieces don't actually fit unless you pretend the seam allowance is there. So just see what I mean, okay? Instead of doing this, because see, that doesn't really fit, and then you're like, what am I doing? This is how I do it instead. I do that, okay? And it's still rough, but then I do that, I overlap them as I'm kind of seeing where I'm going with this. And I often do this. I'll lay out the block before I begin to sew it just to see where I'm going. I'm going to scoot this down. Okay. Then my pattern tells me that I need this log and then this log. See how it's happening? See, see, see? So cool. I think I discovered the other day, or I admitted to myself, the log cabin is my favorite block. It'll change tomorrow, but right now it's my favorite block. I don't know. I'm crazy about it. It's probably because every way you turn it, like there's so many settings for it. There's so many great things you can do with it. Okay, and then this guy finishes our block. Now, of course, it's going to be square. Should be square. But that's how it's going to look, basically. So as you can see from the pattern, I know this is oriented a little different. We've got our orangey yellow, we've got our turquoise or blue, and we've got our pinkish magenta. And you can tell the contrast is really important. Just for kicks, I'm going to show you, you know, if this was your, let me do it like this. And this is called Auditioning Fabric, and I do this all the time, y'all. I just lay something out. Whoops, sorry, okay. Lay that down here and just kind of, see, you got big problems. You got big, big, big problems. Huge. Global. No, but it's, you know, you'll be sad. So, and that's why you don't cut out all your fabric before you do a test block. Don't go cutting without doing some sample blocks, because if you cut up all your yardage and you don't use it, man, fabric's expensive. So try a modern wave quilt, try a log cabin. This is a great one to do because it's really big and there's not that many pieces in it. So give it a shot and keep watching Quilty for all kinds of great tutorials and fun. We have fun. Bye.